Everybody, welcome back to the first Trail Camera Tuesday of the year. A fan favorite around here, not really sure why. But you guys love it. You were asking when it was coming back, and it is back. However, you failed me. You guys all failed me. We do not have that many viewer submissions. Like I said, it will all be anonymous this year. I'm just going to download all the photos, and then we're just going to go through them all at once. No one will know who sent what. It'll just simply be viewer submissions. There it is. But look over here or over here. I don't know which side. The chat is running. These will all be set as premieres. So I will record them a day or two early, and then they will premiere on Tuesday nights around 8 p.m. and we can interact in the chat the best that we can. I'll be working, I'll be at work, I'll be able to check in on it, but either myself or Marilyn can interact with you guys. If you want to claim a deer in the viewer submission, feel free to. You can absolutely be like, hey, that was my buck, can't wait, or I got him, stuff like that. Make sure to put that in the chat. Let's have a conversation rolling while these premieres play. I know it's not live, and maybe once or twice, once it's closer to November, we'll be able to do some live video. But like I said on multiple occasions, the internet at the new house is not capable of streaming live content like that. So anyway, without further ado, let's get into the content. And what I want to start with is just a rundown of the SpyPoint cell link. I recorded my screen, and we can go over what it's like using the SpyPoint cell cams. So I have a cell cam, and then I have two cell links hooked up to Wild Game Innovations cameras. And the main complaint I have been seeing out in the world about these cell links, the number one complaint is customer service. If you do have a problem with your camera, apparently customer service is just terrible. Maybe I got lucky, but the three that I have been the best performing, the least amount of glitching, and the longest battery life cameras and modems that I've ever used. So obviously I'm still fairly new to the cell game. It's only been 2 years. I'm on my second year now, so I'm obviously a little behind, but I have a Moultrie to compare all of the SpyPoint stuff to, and then I also have Garrett has a terrible experience with the new Wild Game Innovations cell cams specifically. So from my point of view, for the price that it is, there is nothing better than a SpyPoint. If you have an issue, that is super unfortunate. Try to return it to the store you bought it from. That's my number one recommendation, would be go to a brick and mortar to get these. Just simply to make the process of, if it doesn't work for you, go return it. You can take it back to the store and say, hey, this doesn't work. And they should be able to refund you on that. So all that said and done, let's just hop into this SpyPoint app, shall we? So this is what it looks like. You will click the activate device there on the bottom. If you've never had an account, or this is your first thing, that is where you'll create an account, as you see here. And then through that create account process, you will then also activate your modem or camera or whatever you have. And then going forward, you'll just do the login. Let's not show you guys this part. We'll move forward. All right, so here is what the app looks like on an Android as well. I don't have the iPhone version. All your pictures from all of your cameras are here. They are all in one spot. Now you can sort, you can filter from here. There's a nice buck that we're hoping to get Marilyn on. Here is where you can see your camera information. Bottom left, right here, You have the navigation bar down there. You click cameras and bam, you can add a camera from here. If you click the plus in the bottom left or bottom right, otherwise you can see the status of a camera, if it's working, if it's not working. So you click the status on that camera. And the one thing that I thoroughly enjoy about the spy points is this check-in day, the last communication. So inside the app, inside the settings, you set when you want that camera to check in every single day. And when it checks in, it will then check, it'll contact SpyPoint. It goes, hey, I'm here. Do I need to know anything? The server responds, he changed these settings. That camera will then pull them settings, and then it will do its thing. It'll change the settings that you had changed. And your settings menu is right there to the right. So, for example, this cell link is hooked up to Wild Game Innovations. You can manage a device. There's not a lot to these. So, you can only change the camera name. You can only change when it checks in, and you can only change how often it sends the pictures, because it can't communicate with that camera it's plugged into. It can't send settings to a Wild Game Innovations camera through the SD card, if that makes sense. So you don't get a lot of options. So there's your cellular setup. I do mine at 4 p.m. Because I'm watching it all day. I'm getting notifications. I'm changing things. I want it to be ready for the evening time frame when all those deer are coming out in fields and things. So I always set it to the evening to check in for settings. And then here is probably the second most important thing I've seen, or that I know of, is making sure when you put batteries in your modem, if it doesn't automatically detect what they are, you select the proper option. I have seen people say that it's burning out SD cards, things like that. It could be possible. The camera's operating as it's a AA. It's actually the lithiums or vice versa. It could be causing a problem. Here is what a real cell cam looks like from SpyPoint. So this is a Link Micro. Here are all your settings. You got your photo. This one can't do video. You got your delay, your multi-shot, and your sensitivity. Those are all very important. If super windy day it's messing around, you set it to 5 minutes for the rest of the day, and you make it a high sensitivity or a low sensitivity. Then you have, once again, your detections. Each detection, send a picture until you notice battery issues. And then once again, you have all of your advanced configuration of being able to control the camera's settings specifically. You can go in there, you can change the date and time, you can change the format of measurement units, things like that. So this is just a quick overview of what that looks like if you were to use an actual Cell Link Micro or one of their other lineups. So then this is where you go to see your photos. You click photos on the bottom, and it should, I'm not gonna say always, it should show you all your cameras. If it isn't showing all your cameras, you click cameras on the top left, and bam, you select either which one you want, like I'm doing now. So boom, I selected just the one camera. I'm scrolling, I'm looking, okay, cool. I can go through and check times on those cameras, and otherwise, all right, let me check Dad's camera up front, right? Okay, what has that been taking? What's going on there? I just want to see that camera. And then you can take it one step further. You've requested a full HD photo, right? So you can go to that camera, select full HD photo, because I know I selected that $1. Boom, it shows you just the full HD photos that it has been sending. And then you can be like, oh, there's that buck. You can check the date and time. Instead of scrolling forever or sorting through anything, there is your option for that. And in that menu, that you have a bunch of other options under species, but I'm not part of the club, so I don't get those options. But you can go species, select buck, show you all your buck photos. And then here is the plan option and pricing. Now this is super important to me. I just have the unlimited on a couple of the cameras where deer are stopping and feeding a lot, because you can get 20 photos, 30 photos from one deer really quickly. That can add up. So I do unlimited on 2 of those, and then on anything that's on a trail, I just select the cheapest I can go, which had been free up until I went and worked in front of one of the cameras and used up like 40 photos moving around in front of it myself. So I had to put it under the cheapest plan, which you can see that West Plot one is, so 105 out of 250. But the most important part of that whole thing for me is it can be completely free for you. For the cell links specifically, it's really important to me for being able to have a free plan. Other than equipment failure, like if it doesn't break or burn out or whatever, you can have a completely free cell cam system. Now, it will only send you 100 photos a month, but it will continue to take photos and save them beyond that 100 photos. So you put it out there, you hate it, you don't like the app that much. Worst case scenario, you don't even really need to use the app, but it's there as an option. You can leave it hooked up, let it send you the 100 photos for the month, and then go pull the card as you usually would no matter what on that camera. So I find that very nice, because with the Moultrie option that I have, to even turn it on, to even look at what settings I can change, because I was trying to remember, I had to activate it. I had to activate it to do absolutely anything with it. And even with the actual cell camera one I have, if I didn't want to pay for a plan anymore, but I still want to use it as a trail camera, you can. It is completely free. You can get the 100 photos a month, then it continues to take photos after that 100, and it just saves it to the card. And then you go pull the card like you normally would to get the rest of your photos. But in general, maybe you have a slow October. October lull really hits you, and you only get 80 photos in a month. Well, then you didn't have to go disturb that area. You didn't have to go move the cam. You didn't have to do anything unnecessary. For free. Like that concept to me is really important, because you've seen my gear list, everything's budget oriented. And then I just want to go over one quick last thing. Here's how you activate another device. Once you have the account, you want to log in. If you're going to get a second one, you're going to want to log in and then add it here in this menu. The actual cell cam, the Link Micro, the quality photo isn't the greatest. Even the originals, when you go pull the card, or the full HD requests, if you have a deer like in the background, you're not going to get a very good look at it. It's not the best, but it is also only $119 for that. So you get what you pay for. That's why I believe and I think, and if you're willing to wait, maybe a company you like to work with or a company you already use will come out with a modem style like SpyPoint has. But as of right now, SpyPoint with that SD card adapter has been incredible. And you have to use some common sense when you're using that. The cable is not, impenetrable. It's a cable. So if you're squishing it too hard or in a weird spot on your camera, you could damage it and ruin that cable. I think they're pretty cheap online, however, so if you need a replacement, or like I did, I ordered an extra one already, it's just here in case it happens. But if you're not going out and opening up that camera over and over and over, if you do it the one time, you might be set. You might be set for a long time. I have a low battery notification going on here, so let's take a quick 5 seconds, and I gotta switch out batteries. And we're back. Now, the last thing I'm gonna say about the SpyPoint stuff, hammering it home, they should be paying me at this point. The last thing I'm going to say about it is, just as someone's terrible experience is not indicative of everyone's experience, the same applies to my great experience. I have had nothing but my expectations just being crushed. Like, my expectations for all these products that I've talked about with SpyPoint, my expectations were low, and it has just never disappointed me. So I want to share my experience with you guys, but that is not saying that the 3.5-star review doesn't exist on Amazon. It doesn't have the greatest reviews. That's why I suggest going to a brick and mortar that you can easily return it to if you have a problem. Protect yourself in that way, make it simple to return it. I bought 2 of mine at Tractor Supply, and I ordered one on Amazon. All 3 of them worked. I bought the cell cam at a store. I bought it at Fleet Farm. So just know, as much as I harp and think it's the greatest thing on the planet, you might use it and it may not work for you. It's a possibility. So, like I said before, if you want to just put off a little bit longer, I'm sure these other companies are going to come around and adopt that style of modem. They're going to come through and someone's going to copy the SD card cable. And what's really going to be exciting is if one of them figures out that they make Wi-Fi SD cards. So you can have a modem above it connected to the SD card in your camera, and it will communicate, and you do it wirelessly. I don't know why that's not a thing already. Any cell cam companies out there, you can make a cordless universal modem if you sell it with that Wi-Fi SD card. But anyway, that's just future talk. That's for someone else to figure out that gets paid way more money than I do. Let's move on to our trail camera photos. You saw a couple of them there, but for the most part, we're gonna see everything here. So let's just go ahead and click. And we're gonna start right here on the new public land we went and scouted. Actually, we're gonna start right here. Crisp. All right, we're gonna start right here, new public land. We're gonna try to go through these pretty quick. That's pretty neat, seeing the spots disappearing on these deer. The does hang out for quite a while. Spoiler alert, I've already seen all these. I did record a reaction. Audio was messed up, so we're doing it again. I already know it's coming, and I think it's awesome, and that's why I want to share it with you guys. There's some pretty crazy stuff happening in this public property. But the number one thing that I've realized is I cannot wait for the youth hunt. If Walker isn't with his dad filming where they hunt, he'll be with me. We're going here. But anyway, I digress. Let's continue. We got a little buck moving through, and that is going to be a heavy theme going forward. So, you know, pretty average buck. Pretty average 2-year-old buck running around, right? All right, let's move on. Like I had said in the public land scouting one, bean field, cornfield, perfect setup, strips of woods. It's awesome. I'm really, really excited to hunt this property. There's more does coming through this night, but then here you see it. Here comes Johnny. But this is interesting to me. I don't know if this buck thinks that's a spike or something and kind of wants to fight, but he moves in, he scares him off, and they keep moving around all night. These deer are in the field the whole time, watching each other, moving around. But it's really fun to watch them. I love having my camera set to video. That's the one the biggest downside of all these cell cams and cell cam modems. They don't do video. I understand why. That is a lot of data it would have to send if they were going to use video. But the ones that I have non-cell cam, this year I have them all set to video and recording all the time. Hey, that's spiked buck. Real tall, got a little broad tine going on there. We'll see more of him later. Here we are, perfect time in the morning. There's a really good looking 2-year-old right there. He survives 2 more years, he's gonna be a monster. But with how big he is there, if he gains at all next year, a lot of people are not. The Orange Army ain't gonna let him go. So he's saying what's up to you guys. I'm pretty sure if you listen, he says, you know, make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're not already. He says it in the camera right there. He knows what's up. And then we keep going here. What else do we got? I know there's some good stuff coming shortly. We got another little buck. I think it's the same one running around. Here is the biggest one that we got on camera out there. So as you can see, there were 5 bucks, I think, 5 different bucks out here. And this was the largest one that we saw. Now my personal goals this year is to only shoot a buck bigger than my last one. And my goals this year are way more about filming everybody and filming deer than it is shooting them. So I'd pass on this buck. However, Maryland, whoo-wee, that deer would be smoked and gone for sure. That would be an incredible first buck for Maryland. So hopefully he shows up more often and we can get out after him on the public land. But if not, we have plenty of other options out on the private. And you got this one walking back through, different buck. And you got this goofy rack. He's only got a spike on the one side. So he's got, you know, his nice 3 or 4 points on the one side, and it's just a 1 on his left. It's crazy. I don't know if he's broken. Yeah, look at him right there. I don't know if he's broken. I don't think he's broken. I think it just goes straight up in the air, and it's just 1 point. And then this buck. This poor bastard. This buck, man. I kind of have a hard time not just going out there and hunting for him. if I pull this camera next weekend and he's on there more than once, if he's on there a couple more times, I think I'm going to spend a lot of my season looking for this deer, and you'll see why here in a second. Look at his back leg. Let me cursor out of the way there. My best guess was he got hit by a car in the winter or last year because his rack is messed up. That's, you know, a trend you see in whitetail deer. If they have an injury, the opposite side of their antlers will be messed up. But he has like no hip bone or something. But he's able to support himself and walk. So there's some sort of joint there still, but but he's pretty messed up. But if he walked by, I'm smoking him. I'm not letting that deer suffer or struggle any longer. I'm not gonna let him get attacked and ate by coyotes because he can't get away. I would take this deer out absolutely if I seen him. But man, it's just rough seeing that deer. There's like nothing left to his back leg. When he's walking, it's a job for him. I'm a little too close to the camera. Let's see what this looks like here. Here's another shot of him. Oh man, it's so rough to see that. I don't know if he comes back one more. No, he doesn't. But here we are, 9/8, a couple days before hunting season begins here, and bam, we got a whole bunch of 2.5-year-old bucks just running around. Just tons and tons of 2.5-year-old bucks on this public. And if I don't know where it starts. It's here. If you watch right back here, this buck's just eating away, having a grand old time. And back here you just see Tweedledee and Tweedledum. So, what's going on, Steve? What's your name? But it's video after video for quite a while here. At 7:46, how cool would it have been to be in the stand and see all this going down? None of them are crazy big, none of them are shooters, but if we were on the spot where I think I'm going to put a stand looking into this bean field, all the footage we could have got could have been so good. And that's what gets me excited. Because they're still there. He's still back there fighting, having a grand old time. And this guy's just over here mowing down the beans, having a grand old time. And then there's that guy. Clearly just shed his velvet. I can't remember if there's any more. Then I think we got to go on to the next day. A little 6-pointer. These could all be really, really good bucks. In just one more year, they'd be shooters for a lot of people. And then you can see this one looks like he has split G2s there. Look at that at the top. Oh man, if he grows 2 more years. If he can survive the Orange Army for 2 more years, what a buck he would be. Those guys tussled a little bit in the field, and then yeah, look at this, just a parade. Let's watch the parade, shall we? 1, 2, 3. All of them look like they're going to be healthy, good bucks, but it's really awkward. Have any of you had this many young deer, young bucks on one property? Like, I'll be excited once mid-October comes. See what moves into this property. See what starts cruising this property looking for does. That is when I will probably put a cell cam on this public land. Because if you get a big buck end of October, middle of October, cruising, you better get out there in the next day or two, because he could cruise it again looking for more does. And this property is set up perfectly for some cruising bucks. Anyway, let's keep moving. There's another goofy racked one. Can't tell why. I think the video quality isn't quite good enough on this $40 camera. But his right side there has a lot of points up there. Don't know what's going on with him. But there he goes, wandering the field edge at a shooting time in the morning. Let's keep on rolling. Oh, it got windy for a day. Oh, that one. Go back. Here we are, 6:28. Don't know what they're running from, but one ran in the woods right away. 1, 2, 3. 2.5-year-old bucks go screaming through the beans. You see right away there's a buck. Whoop. You see right away, right on the field edge right there, there's another buck that runs in. Craziness. And then not too long after that, bam. You got the split G2 buck again. God, it's public land, so it is what it is. But if that was a private property, this is my photo, I would do everything I could to keep that buck alive. Because man, a year or two, whew, dream buck is what he would turn into. That kind of buck is what turns into what dreams are made of. All right, let's keep going here. Yeah, he's got, there's a close-up of his split there. And you can see back here again, another buck, another 2.5-year-old. Oh, they're fighting again. It's two of them, I forgot. No, one is like good looking. I mean, it must be the biggest one we have. Just back out there again. And you got this guy. Goofy Spike. He's going to be a crazy antlered deer as well, so excited to see if he survives going forward. But here they all are, just hanging out in the woods. You got two fighting back here. These two are just plowing down the beans. Wanting to be left alone, but it's just buck parade out there. And obviously, they're still bachelored up a little bit. The younger bucks haven't quite gotten aggressive yet. They're still hanging out. That's why you're seeing so many together. That's why I can't wait for mid-October when every buck is just angry at each other to see what's moving through. That video was nothing apparently. Then you had one. You had this. Oh yeah, the injured one came back. I forgot he comes back one more time. We'll see what he looks like as he walks by the camera right here. You guys seeing deer, big bucks, anything like that? Comment on the side. What does your land look like right now? Is it terrible, good, bad? You excited? You not excited? You could do without it? Oh, we never get to see him walk again. But he was running with another buck there. And then the does move back in. It looks like it's just like the one group of does and that's it. So let's just move on. There's nothing to show on the private property. Couple of little deer. And you guys have seen the big buck we want Marilyn to shoot out there. So let's just get on to the viewer submissions. Now, like I had said before, it's all going to be anonymous. Make sure to send me anything you want to this email address right here if you want to see it and share. If you want to claim your photo or video or whatever you send, just put in the chat, hey, that's mine, and we'll congratulate you and ask you about it and see if you shot one. But we're going to start right there with, oh my God. That is a big bear. Am I wrong? Like I'm bad judgment when it comes to a bear. I don't bear hunt. I know nothing about bears. But from looking how small his legs are, he must be massive. And then you just got a parade of good-looking bucks walking through the woods there. This one's crazy. These deer absolutely love this apple tree. Look at that. They're not even away from him to hit the ground. They're munching on him. That buck. Jesus, look at it. Crazy how wide that deer's antlers are. I cannot wait to see a picture of him hard-horned. If that's yours, make sure, if you do get a hard-horned, send it on over. Great looking buck here from 2012. I'm guessing the date is off because this quality wasn't available in 2012, I don't think, from Bushnell. Jesus, look at that one. Just massive. Not gonna lie, wish I had some of y'all's properties. That's a great looking buck there. And then bam. Look at that heart. He's great looking. Get after him. Get after him hard these early season. If you have bucks, it's not too late. They're still on a pattern. If you have a big buck that you want dead on trail camera, go after him. Go after him. Don't be afraid of spooking him for the rest of the year. Go ahead and get in there, sneak into a spot that you know you can sneak out of and you won't spook them. You'll be good. Great looking set of antlers there. Well, yeah, that apple tree, it is all day. They just reach right up in there. Ooh, what a beast that one is. All right, batteries were dead. We gave him a quick little charge and we're gonna continue here. So Only a couple more left here. Let's hit the play on this bad boy. More videos. God loves the videos. This is an older one, but good looking buck there. Was it the last one? That is the last one. This was a video too. Let's go back for a second. Right as the camera died, this one popped up. What a stud. Man, how crazy. Put a mock scrape up if you haven't already. Hang a branch off of it like this, or even rope. I've seen and I've heard that rope works really good for this. But I use vine. I had said that in my video before. It's working all right. But otherwise, something, just anything that can dangle like that. Zip tie a branch up there of anything. They come by, they wipe their glands on it. It's pretty crazy. But I think that was it. That is it for Trail Camera Tuesday, ladies and gentlemen. I just want to say thank you all for watching. Make sure you send your trail camera photos to the email below, or Instagram, Facebook, wherever you can send me a message. Send me some trail camera photos or videos, and we will share them hopefully in next week's Trail Camera Tuesday. My swampland camera either failed or the card was bad. I formatted it, so we'll see next week how that one's doing. All of my private property ones right now are they're just does. So a little disappointment there, but regardless, send me your trail camera photos. Make sure you ring the bell down below after you subscribe, because this week is gonna have some amazing episodes. You are not gonna wanna miss this week on SgtOutdoors Outdoors. It's gonna be banger video after banger video. I am so excited to get editing. And with that said, I think this is going to wrap up Trail Camera Tuesday. Make sure you put in the comments on the side if you enjoyed this, if this is what you want to do moving forward. I think it's the best option to still slightly be interactive. Obviously, I don't know what you guys are going to be responding to, so I can't stop and talk to you like a live video, which is unfortunate. However, 2 of my tree stand spots, I have really good service, so we may go live from a tree stand more than once this year. And if I'm not home on a Tuesday, or I'm not at work on a Tuesday, we might be able to do a live or 2 Trail Camera Tuesdays, depending on where we are. I may have to go to a friend's house, but if that's the case, then I might do that. And that wraps it up. This is where I'm gonna leave you guys. So thank you for watching. Make sure you like, share, comment, subscribe, and until next time, we'll see you in the woods.